All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a real estate project that's been making some serious waves, Riverton New Cairo. Now, there's a lot of buzz around this one, and it really all boils down to one single unchangeable fact. We're going to unpack exactly what that is and what it could mean for you, whether you're looking for a new home or a smart investment.
But before we get into the nitty-gritty, let's just step back and ask a question. I mean, in a market that's just flooded with new projects, what really makes something a golden opportunity? Is it just about flashy design, a low price, or is it something way more fundamental, something that literally can't be copied? Just keep that question in the back of your mind as we move forward.
Okay, so here's the game plan. First, we'll tackle what makes this opportunity so rare. Then, we'll get into the vision and design. After that, we'll break down the numbers, and finally, we'll pull it all together to look at the investment side of things.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1, a rare opportunity. And look, I know what you're thinking. Rare opportunity sounds like pure marketing speak, right? But in this case, it's actually anchored to a very real, very specific fact about where this project is.
So what is this big fact? It's this. Riverton is being built on the last available plot of land right in front of the American University in Cairo. I mean, let that sink in for a second. This isn't some new neighborhood way out in the middle of nowhere. We're talking about a prime, totally built-out district where there is, quite literally, no more land. That one detail, that's the entire foundation this project is built on.
And this, of course, plays right into a classic economic concept, the scarcity principle. It's super simple, right? When lots of people want something and there isn't much of it to go around, the value goes up. For real estate, having the last piece of the puzzle in a hot area gives a project this incredible built-in advantage that no one else can come along and copy.
Okay, so we've established the location is one of a kind. But what's the actual plan for Riverton? What's the vision here? And who are the people making it happen?
Well, the vision here goes way beyond just putting up some apartments and villas. They're talking about creating an integrated community with a lifestyle that feels more like a luxury hotel. So what does that actually mean? It means the focus isn't just on your front door and what's inside. It's about the whole experience. You know, having services at your fingertips, amazing amenities, and beautiful common areas that are all taken care of for you.
The company bringing this all to life is Mercon Developments. And they're not new to the game, not at all. They've got over 15 years under their belt with more than 70 projects delivered. And we're talking about big names like Nurai and G7 Mall. And for anyone thinking about buying here, that's absolutely crucial, right? It tells you this isn't some risky bet on a new developer. This is a project from a team that knows what they're doing.
So we've got a killer location and a developer with a solid track record. Now let's dig into the specifics, the tangible things that Riverton is actually bringing to the table.
Let's zoom back in on that location for a second, because its position is so strategic. Yeah, the AUC is right there, that's the big headline. But you're also just a few minutes away from the hustle and bustle of Tessine Street and major malls like Spot and Point 90. Plus, and this is a big one, it has super easy access to the new administrative capital. It's perfectly positioned right between the Cairo of today and the Cairo of tomorrow.
And this whole community is being built on a pretty massive piece of land, 25 acres. Now that number matters a lot because that's what gives them the breathing room to design a real community with parks and amenities instead of just cramming in a bunch of buildings.
And you can see how they're using that space. There's a really clear focus on wide open, spacious living. A full 70% of the project is dedicated to villas and townhouses. Only 30% is for apartments. That kind of mix is intentional. It's all about creating a feeling of privacy and exclusivity for the people who live there.
The architecture itself really doubles down on that feeling. They're keeping the buildings low, just a ground floor plus 5 more. Why? To make sure the community never feels cramped or crowded. It's all about maximizing those open spaces, letting the sunlight in, and giving everyone those calm, serene views. It's the complete opposite of that packed-in feeling you get in a lot of city projects.
And this is where that whole hotel-inspired lifestyle idea really comes to life. I mean, the list of amenities is long, but what's really cool is how it all fits together. You've got your luxury clubhouse as a social hub, a couple of commercial areas so you can grab what you need without leaving, and there's even an international hotel right there. And they've thought about the practical stuff too, like putting all the garages underground.
That keeps the entire landscape car-free, beautiful, and perfect for a walk.
Okay, so we've got the vision, we've got the lifestyle, now it's time to talk brass tacks. Let's look at the stuff every single person wants to know. What can you buy, and what are the numbers?
So here's the breakdown, plain and simple. You've got a range of options. On one end, there are apartments starting at a cozy 50 square meters for around 4.5 million Egyptian pounds. On the other end, you have these big, spacious townhouses starting at 252 square meters with prices beginning at 23 million. So you can see there are different ways to get in, whether you're looking for a place to live or an asset to invest in.
Now let's talk about the payment plan, because this is a really big deal. It's designed to be super accessible. You only need to put 5% down to secure your unit. Think about that, just 5%. And then you get to pay off the rest over 10 full years in equal installments. That kind of plan really opens the door for a lot more people to consider an investment like this.
And just to be clear on the first step, to actually reserve your unit, the booking fee is 50,000 EGP for an apartment and 100,000 for a townhouse. This is pretty standard stuff. It's just that initial commitment you make to hold your spot while you get everything else sorted.
All right, we've covered the amazing location, the grand vision, and the hard numbers. For our last section, let's tie it all together. Let's connect the dots and really understand why this is being talked about as a future-proof investment.
Okay, let's boil it all down. What's the core investment case here? Well, it really stands on a few strong pillars. First, you have that unbelievable location and scarcity. You just can't copy it. Second, you've got quality from a developer who's been there, done that. Third, from a lifestyle perspective, all those integrated services and that hotel, that's a magnet for renters. And finally, accessibility. That payment plan makes it possible for more people to get in on the action. You see how each point just builds on the next?
This quote really sums it all up, doesn't it? More than just a residential compound, it is an integrated community that offers an exceptional lifestyle. That's the whole pitch in a nutshell. The big idea isn't just selling you 4 walls and a roof. It's about selling you into this whole self-contained, high-end lifestyle. That's the real value they're offering.
And you know what? That brings us full circle, right back to the question we started with. When you consider that this is, in fact, the last piece of land available in one of New Cairo's most desirable areas, you have to ask yourself, is this really the last opportunity of its kind? Because the answer to that question is probably what's going to determine its value for years and years to come.